During the harsh winter nights of World War II, in a cold army outpost in Eastern Europe, 3 soldiers shared a cramped sleeping quarter, 2 white soldiers and 1 black soldier. Their bunker was split by a rickety iron double-decker bed. The black soldier, Private Elijah, always took the top bed, closest to the icy draft from the window, furthest from comfort. Elijah had come from far, fighting a war not just on foreign soil, but within the ranks of his unit. Quiet, disciplined, always the last to eat, the last to speak. And notably, the only one without proper boots. Day after day, frost-bitten toes were hidden under tattered socks and silence. One evening, their senior, Sergeant Miller, returned from the logistics depot. A gruff man with a steel jaw and colder eyes, he tossed a sack of boots onto the lower bed. He took out 10 pairs and lined them up like trophies, keeping them all for himself. 1 pair, he handed to the second white soldier, Private Jensen. Not a word or glance was given to Elijah. Elijah didn't ask. He never asked. But Jensen noticed. That night, while the sergeant was away, Jensen climbed up and handed Elijah his own new pair of boots. "Hide these under your mattress," he whispered. "Don't let Miller see them. It's wrong, what he's doing to you." Elijah hesitated. His eyes welled up. Not just from gratitude, but from the burden of silence he'd carried so long. That night, for the first time in weeks, his feet slept warm. The next morning, Jensen penned a letter, not in his name, but as Elijah, directed to the military's distribution branch. He wrote of poor footwear, of long marches in snow with torn socks. He asked for a proper pair for himself, not knowing what storm the letter would stir. 2 weeks later, Elijah was summoned to headquarters. He stood before 2 stern-looking officers behind a worn desk. One opened a dusty logbook and flipped through pages. The other stared at Elijah with careful curiosity. "Private Elijah," one officer said, his finger landing on a line, "our records show 32 pairs of standard-issue boots were sent to your unit, all marked for you." Elijah blinked, stunned. "We assumed you were fully supplied. But it seems you received none?" He stood motionless. The truth, heavier than the war itself, settled on his chest. 32 pairs. He had gone barefoot while someone hoarded not just boots, but dignity. Tears broke from Elijah's eyes, silent, unstoppable. Not out of weakness, but release. For the first time, someone had seen him. Someone had spoken up. Justice, though delayed, had not been denied. Back at the base, the investigation exposed the sergeant's corruption and racism. He was quietly transferred, authority stripped. Elijah received not just new boots, but recognition, and quiet respect from soldiers who once looked past him. From that day, Elijah walked taller, not just because his feet were warm, but because truth has a way of walking its own path. Even through snow,